Hello, everyone. It's Instructor Gaynor, and welcome to week 6. This week, we are going to be diving into Gardner's 8 intelligences. And so we are going to talk briefly about each of them, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail about each of them. This is the topic for week 6, and let's get started. So the 8 intelligences that originally Gardner came up with, because now there's a little bit of talk that there's 2 other intelligences that they are discovering. But for right now, we're going to focus on what has been researched and the classical 8 intelligences of Gardner's theory. One is linguistic intelligence, has to do with our language. Then there's logical math, that has to do with problem solving and analytical thinking. We've also got visual spatial. This has to do with perceiving the visual world around us. You may have heard of the phrase that you're a visual learner, for example. That has to do with being able to transform those visual images. We've also got bodily kinesthetic intelligence, and that has to do with our own body and expressing ideas and emotions through physical movement. Musical intelligence. Some people are very focused in their ability to appreciate and compose and perform music. Interpersonal with the ER, interpersonal has to do with our ability to understand and interact with others and their moods. And then intrapersonal has to do with our own self-awareness of our own feelings and thoughts and what motivates us. And then naturalistic intelligence. This has to do with people that love to be in the natural world and have an understanding of working with living things. So we'll dive into each of those a little bit more closely now. All right, so linguistic intelligence. And again, just so you're aware, we don't all only have one of these intelligences. We may have a few of them, we may have all of them, but we tend to be stronger in one or two. So ask yourself as we're going through these, which ones do you identify most with? So linguistic intelligence has to do with the ability to effectively use language, both written and spoken forms. Think of people that maybe are multi or bilingual. They have beautiful speech. Sometimes people just are great writers. Other people just learn new languages. As I said, they might be multilingual. And some people are great at storytelling or poems. They just have a mastery of the power of words. Logical and mathematical intelligence. This has to do, usually engineers tend to be in this category. They love numbers. Sometimes people in accounting, for example, they are great problem solvers. They love to make calculations, do mathematical intelligence, and they're usually pretty, like I said, pretty specific in things such as engineering and programming. Spatial intelligence. So this has to do with the ability to perceive around us. And so looking at like three-dimensional space, having to do with mentally being able to like see 3D or transform objects. This picture here is great, looking at those magnetiles, and architects tend to be very spatial intelligence oriented people. So again, engineers can also be in this category. Then we've got the bodily kinesthetic intelligence. These are people who tend to use their body to express their ideas and feelings. A lot of times they might be actors or actresses, they're dancers, athletes, but they really have this strong sense of physical coordination and control over their movements, and that's how they express themselves. Musical intelligence. This does not just mean people who sing, but people who have a good rhythm, who maybe like I have one of my children who used to put spelling words to music, and that's how he memorized it. So he would do that, but he wasn't necessarily a singer or a composer, but music made sense to him, and he used that to help him study. Interpersonal has to do with how we relate to those around us. So this is people who are uh, tend to show a lot of empathy, strong communication. Salespeople, they love collaborating with others and doing like group think projects and group projects. They are very responsive to emotions and motivation, and they're also very in tune with the behaviors of others. And then we've got intrapersonal. This has to do with how we look at ourselves. Some people are more in tune with themselves than others. They maybe do a lot of meditation, self focus. They are very aware of their own feelings, what motivates them, their own goals and values, and they're very driven by that. And then we've got the naturalistic intelligence. So this has to do with a lot of times people who just love to be in the natural or the natural world. They tend to understand and make connections with the environment. Maybe they have a lot of plants, animals, landscapes. They're very strong in this area. Some of these people tend to like to study outside, for example. They pursue outdoor activities. They create habitats. They love to, like, maybe work in a garden, have a pet, things like that. So again, I just want to review for you. I'm going to go back to I just want to review with you that comment that we have Gardner discovered 8 intelligences. That said, keep in mind, we may have all 8, but the key is which one are you stronger in? Which ones of these are you stronger in? And that is something to think about. There's lots of free tests online that you can also take a look at and discover. And this will come in tune with your learning style and how you learn best. So for example, I'm visual and I'm a visual learner. Um, my one son I talked about who did the musical thing, he's an auditory learner. So this does go hand in hand with how we learn. And that's something we will tackle in this class as well. So stay tuned for that. But this is Gardner's 8 Intelligences. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me at jgaynor@fortiscollege.edu or also in Canvas. Hopefully this information will be very helpful to you as you explore this week's topic. All right, thank you. Have a wonderful week. Thanks.